This is the Milo Sweet podcast where you learn to be resourceful, find quick and clever ways to overcome life's challenges. And guess what? Achieve more with less. Use what you have to get where you're trying to go. Learn to do difficult. And for excuses, get rid of them. I mean, all of them. They're dead to me. Let's go. Hey, I know you're wondering, can you buy a house with no money down? Yeah. Can everyone buy a house with no money down? No. Okay. So just to be clear, I'm a licensed real estate agent in Oregon with Oregon First. And I think it's important for people to know that, yes, the ideal is to put 20% down. But the reality is most people don't even put 20% down of the purchase price. And the reason why is because most people don't have it. Now, could you save and do that? Absolutely, because there are benefits to doing that. So usually you don't have extra mortgage insurance or private mortgage insurance, which is basically where they charge you for having a loan. There is probably a more eloquent way of saying it, but that's just basically the gist of it. And usually that's $75 to a couple $100 a month, depending on the price point of your house and how much your house costs. There's other variables that go into that, but this is just very clean and clear, easy to understand version. So basically you take out a loan, you pay interest on that loan. And then there's taxes, property taxes. And then on top of that, there's insurance. If you pay 20%, that insurance is removed and that decreases your monthly mortgage payment. For most cases, if you don't pay 20%, you have what's called this mortgage insurance or private mortgage insurance. So with that being said, it is beneficial to put down as much as you can. Now, if you put down, I think, 5% or more, so not 20%, then you usually can get a better loan. Think of a loan as a product, and the product is just saying that you are lower risk because you put more money down. If you put no money down, now let me be clear, there are so many loans out there. I am not a licensed loan advisor at all. So this is general information and it should not be used without getting a customized approach from a broker and your mortgage broker, your real estate agent and your mortgage broker to make sure this is the best idea for you. But this is me giving information so you can figure out what works for you. So I'm not liable for how you apply this. I'm just sharing these ideas with you so you can understand if you're in a position where you're eligible for no money down loans, that you understand that is a possibility. So a no money down loan usually is a little bit more of a higher risk. Sometimes it's a higher interest rate. And sometimes there are points on the loan. A point is basically charging you to have the loan. So again, think of a loan as a product. And they're basically saying, because we're giving you this product with no money and we're letting you have it, we're going to just charge you a little something up front. And sometimes it's tacked into the loan. You don't actually have to bring it when you buy a house. But it's a percentage of the actual loan price. The loan price is determined by how much the home costs and how much money you put to offset what you're borrowing. So let's go to the short version. Short version is, yes, there are no money down loans. Sometimes they're in the form of a grant. Sometimes they're in the form of a second mortgage. Your first mortgage, and then there's a second mortgage. The second mortgage is borrowing the down payment that you were supposed to bring, but you didn't because you don't have the money. And the third option sometimes is that there are funding matching programs. So basically, if in certain communities, they have it where if you're saving and you're putting yourself in a better place, they will match what you save and at a certain point. So you could use the part that they match as your down payment, which essentially would make your down payment free. All right, so I am sharing this simply because I believe home ownership is so important, and I know that not everyone in every area can actually afford the price of the home in that area, but it is something that I want people to understand is available. So a local credit union by me right now has 100% no money down. They're specializing in helping minorities get homes. It's not just for minorities, but that seems like the marketing behind it. And it actually, I think, has no mortgage insurance and their low rates. Side note, historically, these are the lowest interest rates, like historically. So they're very, very, very low, which means that you can afford more house than you would have been able before. So let's say $1,000 a month mortgage meant that you would get $100,000 house. You might be able to get something for $150 or a $2,000. This math is not adding up. Just stay with me though. So let's say a $300,000 house used to mean that you were going to be paying $2,000, but maybe you can get one for $375. So you can get a little bit more. If, that's what I'm saying. So it really depends on your taxes and your area and a couple other things, right? Your rate. But this is just to give you a general idea and to let you know that it is very possible to get into a home and to figure out the scenario that is best for you. And with everyone having challenges with what's going on in 2020, I just think that the more opportunities we understand, the more opportunities we talk about, the more education we have, the more we can figure out the best way for us to move forward and the best strategy and plan. Once again, I definitely feel like you want to know your options, so it's best to get a customized or have a customized conversation or consultation with an agent, preferably someone who is a mortgage broker or a loan officer, because they're going to be able to understand exactly what products they have and what will work best for them or for you. And then the agent or real estate agent is going to be able to tell you what that kind of looks like in your area. And that will give you a full picture, I believe, about how and what to do as far as moving forward. But there are opportunities. I know quite a bit of people that have bought a house with no money down. Sometimes there's stipulations about where you can buy, what type of property. Other times there's qualifications based on income and what's going on. But the fact of the matter is, I feel like right now there are the most opportunities, most grants, most assistance that I've ever seen personally. And, I don't know what that means because I haven't been around for 100 years. And I think people should know about them so they can take advantage of them or share with other people. Also, once again, having a house is one of the keys to breaking the debt cycle, to building wealth, to changing your family tree. So as much as opportunity as there is to help people, I want them to know about it. I want people to have like a brighter future. I want the legacy they leave for their family, for their kids, to be much better. And sometimes we have to use what's available to help us get to the next level. No shame, no shade, just using what's out there. When someone lends a hand and they put it out, take it, because that's what it's there for. Not take advantage of it, but absolutely, if there's help to help you get into your first home, to have a safe place, a beautiful home for you and your family, I want people to have that. Absolutely. All right, so that's all for today. If you know someone who can benefit from this, please share this episode with them. And if you're trying to figure out, you didn't list any programs or anything, seriously, type in your zip code in a search engine and put no money down, mortgages or grant mortgage and your zip code, and a lot of programs will come up. I have done this where I actually have the wrong program and I call them and they're like, oh, I know about another one. So sometimes it's just a little bit of digging. If you don't want to do that work, let me know and I'll start posting some episodes about different mortgages, different no money down, so that you can be in the know. All right. If you have questions about this episode, you can send me a voice message at anchor.fm/the Mila Sweet podcast. You can also leave me a review and put your question in there and I will look at it. All right. That is all for today. Did you know that you could impact my podcast by liking, subscribe, reviewing, and sharing? And also donating? You would totally make my day. Come on. Make my dreams come true. This episode is sponsored by howtohomeschoolfromtheheart.com. Go to www.howtohomeschoolfromtheheart.com and stop crying. Get empowered. Get some clarity. Let's go. All right, that's another episode in the books. Hello? Hello? I said it's over. Why are you still listening? seriously, the episode is over. If you're still listening right now, you know what? You're probably a chronic procrastinator. Guess what? I'm still listening to. Come on, for real, seriously. We gotta go do something productive. No, like for real. No, for real, for real. Okay, you can keep listening.